Mikoto's house. Knock, knock, knock. Coming, her beautiful voice sounded from behind the door. Yes, who is... Naruto? What happened? You... But when she saw my eyes, words died in her throat. Further questions were pointless. She already knew what was wrong with me. Come in, quickly, she said and pulled me inside. I never had the strength to resist. Not that I wanted to anyway. Mikoto, I started. I don't understand. I see everything so clear now, but my body is so weak. What's wrong with me? She sat me on a couch and joined herself afterwards. Nothing's wrong with you, Naruto, she replied. It just seems like you acquired something through my blood. My eyes widened. Really? What? Mikoto's eyes turned red. My family's dojutsu, the Sharingan. And it's in the third form already. How did you manage to do that? It's unheard of a 5-year-old child possessing the third stage. I looked at her with confused Sharingan eyes. 3 tomos in each. I don't know. I just suddenly started, and I started to see things clearer with every passing day. But my body started to weaken, and I can't even stand straight right now. Her beautiful eyebrows furrowed. Then when did it start? About 2 weeks after I met you, Mikoto-san, I replied. How could I know? Her face turned from concern to shocked one. But that's impossible. If what you say is true, then you lived with activated Sharingan for almost a year? No wonder it evolved. Is that bad? I asked. No, not bad, but how were you even able to stay unconscious? I don't know, I replied honestly. No matter, she stated. You need to deactivate it now. How? Try to withdraw chakra from your eyes, she explained. What? Right, he doesn't even know what chakra is, she thought. Try to relax your eyes, feel something flowing in them, and try to stop that flow. That was easier to comprehend, so I closed my eyes and tried to do what I was told. When my eyelids opened, she sighed in relief. Thank God, Mikoto replied. You must have ridiculous amounts of chakra to survive that long with an activated Sharingan. What's chakra? I asked. Chakra is a combination of spiritual energy and body energy. Every human has some amount of chakra, but only a trained shinobi can use it as a weapon, the woman explained. I blinked with my shining blue eyes. Are you a shinobi, Mikoto? I am. Was, she answered. Why? I want to be a shinobi like you. Can you teach me? She thought for a minute. I can refuse, of course, but he has no one, and with the ability to hold activated Sharingan for almost a year, he can be an exceptional ninja. Besides, I don't really have anything to do besides cooking. The woman decided. Sure, why not? So there I was, training to become a shinobi. Every day I visited her house. Every day she taught me how to fight, how to use a kunai and shuriken. Life was wonderful. The only downfall was that I have met the remains of her family. Firstly, there was Mikoto's husband, Fugaku. Of course, he instantly knew about my special condition. That turned him extremely against me being in his house. Sure, I never gave them even a slightest damn about what he thought, but his sulking made Mikoto sad, and if there was one thing I hated back then, was seeing her sad. Remember, I said back then. Now I almost hate everything. Then there was her sons, Sasuke and Itachi. Sasuke, like his father, grew very annoyed with me, for a different reason though. Fugaku hated the Kyuubi. Sasuke disliked me for stealing his mother's attention. Yeah, jealousy is dangerous and all. So he tried his best to get rid of me. Not that he succeeded though. I survived years of beatings. What could one boy possibly do to me that no one else did before? Itachi, however, he rarely spoke to me, and if he did, it was nothing but a simple greeting. But the thing is, I often noticed his gaze upon myself. It seemed like Itachi was staring at me every time he was around, and I was not looking at him. At first I thought he wanted what everyone else did, to hurt me. But he never did. Much later I understood what it was. Curiosity. He couldn't understand why I'm learning so fast. Oh, I forgot to mention something. For some reason, Mikoto-san said that I can never show my Sharingan to anyone except her. I couldn't understand why, at that time at least, but she was the most important person in my life, and I will be damned if I won't do that. I won't do what she told me. Why I said she was the most important person in my life, it may sound like a broken record, but take a guess. Time skip. A year and a half later, Uchiha District. Night already fell upon the hidden village of the Leaf, and oh, here I am, running at my fastest back to where I belonged, to where I thought I belonged, at Mikoto's side. It was already late, and I guess she would cancel our training for today, but I still have to hear that from her beautiful lips. Yes, beautiful. Despite me being a little kid, there was nothing more beautiful to me than her. Why am I so late, you ask? That's because following Mikoto's advice, I joined the academy. It was stupid, really. I already knew everything they taught, and I could care less about Konoha's history. I never cared about Konoha. The only reason I wanted to become a shinobi is because I wanted to always protect Mikoto. The reason that I have failed. I still don't know why we were held for so long in the academy that day, but I think it was his fault. Huh, why isn't there any lights? I asked, walking into the Uchiha district. Did something happen? I turned around the corner and understood exactly what happened. There were bodies, countless dead bodies. I didn't need to check if they were dead. It was pretty obvious. I recognized them. All of them were Uchihas. Even at that moment, I had the idea about what I'll find in the end, but I couldn't give up. Not now. I had to see her for myself. Mikoto! I screamed in fear, running towards her house. More and more dead bodies were laying on the ground, but they didn't matter to me. No one mattered to me at that time, not even myself. The only one who did was Mikoto! I screamed once again, busting into her house. Dirt and blood covered my limbs and torso. Why? In my mindless run, I managed to trip a few times and fell over someone's dead body. I didn't care about that. A big mistake. Foolish little boy. I burst through another door, and there I saw it. No, I whispered. There lied my dear Mikoto, on the dead body of her husband. No, I screamed once again, and shot myself towards her. With a desperate scream, I took Fugaku's body and threw it into the wall. And though it was, of course, I didn't know where that kind of power came from. It's not like I even cared that night. The only thing I cared about was Mikoto. I kneeled in front of her and placed her head on my lap. Never before I have seen such an expression on her face. When we were together, she was always smiling. No, I whispered again. No, please open your eyes. Smile at me like you always do. Just once. I'll do anything. Anything. I saw no reaction. Her body was cold. I panted, gritting my teeth. Rage filled my mind. Who did this? I swore that second that I will find the one who did this. I will find him and make him pay. And he will pay. Suddenly, I heard another voice. Mom? Dad? I recognized Sasuke's voice. Of course he couldn't do that. He was too weak. And besides, he was there in the academy with me the whole day. But back then, do you really think I could think straight? Mom, you! I screamed and slammed him into a wall by the throat. You did this. I will kill you, I said, taking out a kunai and preparing to deliver my judgment. That wasn't him. I heard another familiar voice from the street. Low growl escaped my throat. I punched Sasuke in the face, effectively knocking him out, and ran out of the house. There, I found him. Itachi? I screamed in rage. You did this? Indeed, I did, he replied, as calmly as always. I'm gonna kill you. How stupid I was. Itachi had a sword and was a much more skilled and powerful shinobi. But don't laugh. His decision to play with me saved my life and gave me a weapon. Itachi slowly opened his eyes. Mangekyo Sharingan. My eyes widened as the world suddenly turned red and black. Mikoto taught me about genjutsu, especially Sharingan related, but I never could grasp it until that day. He said nothing, but no words were needed. Next thing I saw was Itachi slaying his own family. Later I wondered why he showed me that. Then I understood. He thought I wanted to kill him for annihilating his clan. Idiot. I never cared about those morons. If anything, I wanted them gone. Most of them despised me anyway. Besides, if they were gone, I would have been the only one by Mikato's side. But Itachi never knew that. He continued to show me how exactly he destroyed his family. I didn't care. I even smirked once. He missed the target. He should have shown that to his moron of a brother. My face, however, turned from smiling to horror struck when he tried to show me the last fragment. There sat Mikoto and her useless husband, and Itachi stood over them with his sword raised. No, I whispered, and Itachi's sword slowly descended. No, no, no! What happened next? Two things. Blood flowed from my eyes, and both of us were thrown out of Itachi's genjutsu. How? Itachi asked in disbelief, falling to one knee and clutching the left side of his face. Later, I learned that breaking out of the Tsukiyomi brings much harm to the caster. His eyes widened even more than I looked at him with my bloody eyes. I understood his surprise. It took him countless trainings and killings of his best friends to achieve that power, and I got it just like that. Or that's what he thought. In reality, it took more than any of it. He took more from me than any killing of the best friend could accomplish. I would have killed 100 of my best friends if it could bring her back. Itachi gritted his teeth. Of course I was a thorn in his place. He drew his sword and prepared to take me down, but suddenly, he glared at me one last time and disappeared in a puff of smoke. At first I couldn't understand why, but then I got it. Voices! I exclaimed fearfully. I need to get out of here. So I did. How? I crawled my way into the sewers. No, how could this happen? I asked, laying exhausted in the cold sewer floor. Itachi, I will make you pay, whatever it takes. Rage filled my mind once again, but my body couldn't stand the pressure, so my eyelids closed slowly and I began my travel in the dream world. Or that's what I thought. Rage. Oh. When I opened my eyes, it was still a sewer. A little different though. Exhaustion was gone, and I decided to explore this sever. Explore because I was very familiar with the first one. I had to hide somewhere, you know. What I found, however, was not very exciting. Large gate and a pair of enormous glowing red eyes behind them. But I didn't fear. I just couldn't. All my reasons for fear were gone with her. Come closer, boy. A sudden voice boomed. What is that? I thought, but still walked closer, only for a large claw to escape the cage and attack me. I didn't even move an eyelash. Why, you ask? Simple. I experienced it all. Slashing, stabbing, cutting. Nothing new in that department. It was just physical pain. My wound was much deeper. I want to kill you. The voice boomed once again. To tear you to shreds and devour you. But this seal... Shut up, I responded stoically. I didn't care who that was, but his eyes were looking at me like it was nothing, an insect. That may be so from his point of view, but me, I hated that look. Everyone looked at me like that. Well, never again. Oh, you're a brave one. It will be. I said shut up. I growled, and for the first time in my life, I used this power. My power. The power she gave me. Impossible. How can you have that cursed power? Rage on my face. Mangekyo Sharingan blazing on my eyes. I was finally ready to speak. Answer my questions. There was a slight pause. Yes. Who are you? Nine-tailed demon fox. I raised an eyebrow. I thought you were dead. I cannot be killed, the Kyuubi stated. So your father tore my soul into 2 pieces and sealed it inside you and your sister. Now that was a shocker of the millennium. I always thought I was an orphan, but this demon says I have not only a father, but a sister too. For some reason I believed him, probably because he was under my control. And who is my father? I asked. Namikaze Minato, the Yondaime Hokage. I gasped. What? That wasn't possible. Or I thought it wasn't. Why would a great and respected Yondaime Hokage discard his own son? Besides, this girl, Tsubaki, had to check. So then, Namikaze Tsubaki is my sister? Yes. You said he sealed you in both of us. Why would he discard me? He believed you were holding the dark part of me. I furrowed my eyebrows. And? Is that true? No, the demon answered. My soul might be divided, but not my energy or personality. Then I did something I never thought I was capable of. I chuckled. Darkly. Namikaze Minato, my idol, sacrificing his son and throwing him away. What a hero! That was my first sarcasm as well. So, he sealed the other half in my sister, you say? No, was the response. What do you mean, no? I asked in confusion. You just said it yourself. Then I must have misspoken before. It was actually your mother who sealed a part of me and your sister. And it wasn't half. What do you mean? Your mother was very low on chakra, so she couldn't do the sealing technique properly. The demon continued. Your father, however, could. Because of the occasion, my soul wasn't split into similar halves like it was intended. You received about 3/4 of my power, while your sister got only 1. So you're the reason I was beaten. You're the reason I was hated and despised. This was a statement, not a question. Still. Yes. But wait a second, I replied. If you were sealed into both of us, why am I the only one who's treated like that? Why Am I the only one who was an outcast? They said you were the only Jinchuriki, the demon stated. What? Jinchuriki? The power of human sacrifice, the Kyuubi explained. In other words, a human who was sacrificed to seal a demon. I see. Rage was filling my mind once again. So they sacrificed both of us, but my sister got the spoils, and I didn't get anything. Pretty much. Charming. Okay, I got my family, my biological family's part down. Tell me what you know about the Mangekyo Sharingan. Not too much. Your eyes hold great power, but it's not complete, the Kyuubi answered. What do you mean by that? I asked. Your eyesight will start to fail with the use of that power. To cancel that effect, you must transplant your close relative's eyes into you. Relative? I muttered. I don't have an Uchiha relative, but Mikoto-san, her blood is flowing through my veins. It'll do. Take Mikoto's eyes. I hope she will find that in herself to forgive me. I looked back at the Kyuubi. Listen carefully, demon. From this day on, you are now mine. Your power is my power. My wishes are your wishes. I understand. Good. Remember that well, and we might even become friends. Think nothing. That was just another sarcasm. Time skip. 1 week later. Konohagakure Graveyard. Uchiha clan's funeral. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment Q or any other fanfics you want me to read. Roll the outro. 1, 2, 3